All right, I want to start this lesson by giving all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rekha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles and teachers and wise men, a great millstone that I learned this truth from through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua. Salutations out there to the elect. All right, I want to do a quick lesson going into this video I came across about this guy named Elijah Wilkins, how he was, unalived by an off-duty officer, and his family says that the shooting was justified. So before I play the video, let's start right here with this scripture in Amos 3:6. It says, "Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people be not afraid?" It says, "Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord have not done it?" You see? So when something bad happens in a city, of course the people are going to be afraid. They're going to wonder what's going on, what's happening, or what caused that evil to be brought in the city. And here's the answer. It says, "Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord have not done it?" You see? So the Lord brings that evil that happens in the city, whether it be him bringing the sword upon the people of that area, or famine, or whatever. The Lord, he's in control of that. He brings that evil in the city. All right, let's get a precept to that. This is Deuteronomy 32:39. It says, "See now that I, even I am he, and there is no God with me. I kill, and I make alive. I wound, and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand." So the Lord brings evil in the city, and if it's your time to be, made unalive, then none can deliver out of the Lord's hand. You see, you can't, especially yourself. You can't deliver yourself out of the Lord's hands. So let's play this video, and I'll get some more scriptures. Salakia.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Natalie Shepard.
I'm Jessup Ricebeck. Hope you're having a nice Friday night. Our top story tonight, the family of a man shot and killed by...
Salakia's going to play. Just bear with me.
An off-duty Milwaukee police officer is speaking out in a way you may not expect.
It happened around 8:30 yesterday morning near 47th and Mill on the city's north side, killing 26-year-old Elijah Wilkes. Now, at first, there seemed to be conflicting stories between MPD and alleged witnesses, but now the family and their lawyer say the video seems to speak for itself.
Adam Reif joining us now live in studio for a closer look at what they saw and their reaction. Adam.
Well, Natalie and Jessup, this video not yet released to the public, but unequivocally and to a person, Elijah Wilkes' family members accept that he was at fault. They mourned his death and also his actions today and urged others to not make the same mistakes.
We will acknowledge that we do believe that this officer-involved shooting was justified.
Early and often,
Salakia, bear with me.
Elijah Wilkes' family and their attorney acknowledged the 26-year-old made a bad decision that resulted in his death Thursday morning.
I don't think I've ever come before and did a press conference.
Elijah's mother, Pamela Bond Slater, and their attorney, Lamar, watched the video twice Friday at MPD headquarters. Lamar said it showed Wilkes aggressively cut off the officer's car, causing the officer to hit Wilkes' car. They each pulled over and got out. They spoke, then Elijah pulled out a gun.
He does slapped the off-duty officer with the firearm. The video does depict Elijah pointing the firearm at the off-duty officer, and the off-duty officer did respond, what we believe, in accordance with this training.
The officer fired several shots. Elijah ran to the front of his vehicle. When he popped up, the officer fired more shots.
He made a bad decision yesterday, and unfortunately, it came with dire consequences.
Wilkes' mother was too distraught to speak, but other family members did.
I would also like to thank the Milwaukee Police.
All right, I'm going to stop the video right here. And as you heard, that young man, Elijah Wilkes, he made a bad decision when all he had to do was just, not do what he not do what he did that caused his unfortunate, death. But that's a lot of our people, you see. A lot of them are foolish and they don't want to be subject under government, not understanding that the Lord set up the powers that are in the earth. Let's get this scripture right here in verse in Romans 13. This is Romans 13 verse 1. It says, be subject unto government. It says, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of the Most High. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High. You see? So the Lord set up these powers that are in the earth. Even Babylon the Great, the Lord set them up for a time to rule. Going back to what? How the Lord set up the four major empires: the Neo-Babylonian Empire, the Medo-Persian Empire, the Greek Empire, and the Roman Empire. The Lord sets those kingdoms up because he removes kings and he set up kings, doing his pleasure, you see. All right. Let's read this in the NLT. It says, everyone must submit to governing authorities, for all authority comes from God, or the Most High. It says, and those in positions of authority have been placed there by the Most High. You see? So the Lord, he set up this government, which means you have to be subject, which means if you go against the authority, let's read verse 2. It says, whosoever therefore resists the power, resists the ordinance of the Most High, and they that receive shall receive to themselves damnation, which you heard about in this video. This young man, he received unto himself damnation. Let's continue the video.
Department
Salakia.
for their transparency and their professionalism.
No matter the fault, they're grieving the loss of a son, grandson, nephew, and brother.
Salakia, back with the video. I don't know why it's freezing.
My brother was all I got. For real. Like, that's my only sibling. And now he's gone.
They said the city needs to heal and wanted to speak up to discourage. Any community unrest.
He made a decision that he should not have.
Salakia. But as you,
They said the city
yeah, that's his sister.
healed and wanted to speak up to discourage any community unrest.
He made a decision that he should not have made.
Lamar said it was unlikely they'd pursue legal action.
Once we got an opportunity to actually see the video, there weren't many questions. We had clarity as to what actually transpired.
The officer involved has not been identified, but is still recovering from injuries. Now, per MPD policy, the video of this incident will be released to the public within 15 days. And Natalie and Jess of the family and the attorney are asking for the full 15 days to give them more time to grieve.
All right, but as you heard in the video, the young man shouldn't have. He made a bad choice, and he received into himself swift damnation for that bad choice he made. So I'll end the lesson here. All right, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. Otherwise, if you resist the power, then you're only tempting the Lord. As a matter of fact, let's continue to read. Let's read verse 3. It says, the rulers are not a terror to good works, you see, but unto the evil. So the young man had to have been evil. It says, will thou not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, which he should have just, not did what he did by trying to assault the cop. So he should have just followed the commands and stayed peaceful. It says, and thou shalt be praised of the same. Verse 4, it says, for he is a minister of God to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain. You see, so these heathens, these modern day centurions, these authorities, they don't bear the sword in vain. They're given a license to unalive you at any time if they perceive you to be a threat. And he presented himself as a threat. It says, for he is the minister of God, a revenger to execute wrath upon them that doeth evil. Verse 5, wherefore ye must needs be subject, not only for wrath, but also for conscience sake. You see? So that young man, he should have just followed the directions that were given unto him instead of just leaning on his own understanding. Thus he received unto himself swift damnation. So I'll end the lesson here. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rekak Wadash. All right, Shalom. Salakia, bear with me. I'm going to get a good last image. All right, Shalom.